Okay, to kick these things off, we'll give you 1 minute for your opening remarks.
Well, it's an honor and privilege to be here tonight. I appreciate everybody taking a little bit of their time to come and get informed from the candidates. My name is Brad Cole. Sonny and our youngest daughter is back here. We have 3 other daughters. As you can see, I'm a little outnumbered at the house. There's five women in my house, and it gets a little overwhelming sometimes. It prepares me for the challenges of being the sheriff. But as you know, over the last 11 months, and I don't know where the 11 months has went, but time has gone by so fast over the last 11 months as sheriff. We've accomplished a lot of things here in the county. 1 minute's not a whole lot of time to say something, but what I want to assure you of is we're not done. We are progressing. There's been some obstacles and a tough road to hoe in the last 11 months, but we're progressing, we're making progress, and everything we do at the Sheriff's Office is for the betterment of the citizens and for us to provide better service to the county and the citizens of the county.
Okay, the Sheriff's Office received a grant from the State Salary Supplementation Fund that increased salaries of sheriff deputies. The office expected $68,000, but will only receive just over $25,000, meaning many deputies will receive a pay cut. As current sheriff, how do you plan to address this?
Well, first off, what I would say, anytime that we are awarded a grant, we know that can go away. And this is not just a grant for the Christian County Sheriff's Office. This is a statewide grant for every sheriff's office. So every deputy sheriff in the state of Missouri that qualifies under this grant is basically going to be losing $1,200 a year out of their paycheck starting next year. And it's this money that funds the grant is from civil process fees that the sheriff's office serves. And the reason in the reduction is because time and time again, attorneys and firms are hiring their own people, using their own people to serve papers, which brings less money into this supplement for deputy sheriffs. And we just learned this about 2 weeks ago. So we have been exploring ideas. I can't give you an answer to how we're going to affect this and help the deputies with this shortfall in their income. But we are exploring ideas, and we're going to do the best we can do to try to keep their salary where it is now.
We'll take an audience question. What is your biggest challenge as sheriff?
The whole thing. Every day is a challenge. I mean, I could point out several things. I don't know that there's one particular thing that is a challenge that makes things the biggest challenge. What I would say, and I think it would be echoed by every sheriff in the United States, one of the biggest challenges for a sheriff is operating a jail. Constantly, day in and day out, there's issues you have to deal with. It's the biggest liability issue for not only the sheriff, but for the county. So I would say probably the jail would be the biggest challenge.
Another audience question. Please address the high rate of domestic violence issue and how you plan to combat this. The root cause of family law. Caseload.
Well, what I can tell you is we have, at our 6-month mark this year, the numbers that we have compiled, we have actually stayed about steady on the caseload for domestic violence from last year at the 6-month mark. What I will say is this: we have done something this year that we implemented, and we did a lot of research on it, and we reached out to Borough Behavioral Health in Springfield. And we now have an in-house liaison at the Sheriff's Office that we can call upon at any time. They will even come out to the home if we needed to and provide counseling, any kind of therapy that might be needed for a family member, a child, or anybody in that home. We have implemented that, we have set it up, and it's been a great benefit to us. One other thing that we've done, we've started a chaplain program at the sheriff's office. We have two very good chaplains now. One who is a retired police lieutenant from New Orleans, Louisiana, who's also a pastor. And he is trained, he is very good at what he does. Those chaplains have been very instrumental in helping us with domestic violence cases and being able to reach out and counsel people as well. And we've been able to provide that free of charge to the citizens.
What are you doing to make the relationship between your office and the auditor's office better?
Well, let me just tell you this, and don't take this wrong, but I'm pretty straightforward and blunt. What you read in the newspaper is not always exactly what's going on. If I have a problem, I have no problem walking through the door at the auditor's office and sitting down and trying to take care of that problem. Likewise, the auditor has no problems coming to my office and sitting down and trying to take care of a problem. That being said, she doesn't always agree with me and I don't always agree with her. But we try to work and do the best that we can for the county and take care of the issues at hand. I can tell you right now, I personally have no issues with the auditor. And that is something that has been in the news and in the paper that makes the whole county look bad. And you know, we don't, like I said, we don't always agree on everything. And we're not going to agree on everything. That's just the way it is. But we work to try to solve the problems.
We'll have another audience question. If elected, would you support an armed civilian posse to support the sheriff of Christian County? Why or why not?
Well, first off, let me say this. We have a very good reserve deputy program. And all of those reserve deputies, they provide service to the county free of charge. They provide all of their hours that they put in are free. They're trained law enforcement officers just like a full-time officer. We already have that established and in place, and that helps us out greatly. If it ever comes to a point where we have to call upon the citizens, we will do that. That is a last resort, and we don't want to have to ever do that. We have several mutual aid systems in place with every county sheriff's office in the state. If I need help, all I have to do is pick the phone up, and I can tell you right now, Sheriff Sharp in Jackson County, which is Kansas City, would send me 200 deputies right now if I called him and asked him for them. So we have all kinds of resources. But to answer your question, if that is ever needed and it comes down to that, then we will do what we have to do to protect the citizens of this county.
You've been sheriff for nearly 1 year. What's one thing you accomplished in the past year you are most proud of, and what's one decision you made that you regret?
Well, I'm not one to sit up here and pat myself on the back. I have a job to do, and I just try to do my job the best that I can. There's lots of things to be proud of. Probably one of the most proud things that I am is on nearly a daily basis, I have someone in the community come up and say, we appreciate what you're doing, what your deputies are doing, and we think you're doing a good job. I think just putting yourself out there and making yourself available, the deputies making themselves available, and talking to the citizens of the county and letting them know that we care about what they think has been a great thing, and we constantly get good feedback from the citizens. So I think establishing a relationship with the citizens is what I'm very proud of.
Any
And there was
regrets?
a two-part question. What was the?
A decision that you made that you may have regretted.
I can't think of anything right offhand. If I think of something, I will tell you, but I can't think of anything right offhand.
Do you have any ideas to alleviate space issues the current sheriff's office is facing?
Build a new building. The only issue with doing that is it takes money. You know, this is not just necessarily an issue for us, it's an issue for a lot of sheriffs across the state. The thing about Christian County, and everybody knows it, it is growing so rapidly that you get something put in place, and before you know it, there's that many more people in the county, and we have to look ahead and prepare. We have a 98-bed jail facility, and we have been up to 170 people at one time, and we started shipping people out to other counties. We constantly have 135 to 150 people in the jail on a regular basis. We're going to have space issues, but we deal with them the best that we can. I think at some point in the near future, the commissioners will get to a point where they address the issue, and it's going to be a hard decision for them to make, but we're going to have to address this issue sometime in the near future.
What are some concerns with next year's sheriff's budget?
We have been trying to replace a lot of outdated equipment. Computer system that hasn't been upgraded in almost 12 years in the jail. As you know, technology progresses very rapidly. A 12-year-old system is not efficient. There's just numerous things that I could identify that need to be addressed. We will address them as revenues come available. We're doing the best that we can do with what we have. In an ideal world, our budget would be a lot more than it is, but we're making do with what we have. To address a specific thing would be very difficult. There's lots of things that we would like to do that we're not able to do right now.
Unless there are any other questions from the audience, I think we'll move forward with your closing remarks.
Okay. Once again, I appreciate the time tonight. I think we've went over some things that have been informative to the people. I would just like to point out a few accomplishments that the deputies have achieved and the command staff have achieved that some of you may not know about. For the last several years, the sheriff's office has talked about implementing substations throughout the county, and it never has been done. In the last 11 months, we have implemented 5 substations across the county. That allows our deputies to stay in areas of the county that they don't get to stay in as much as normal. That has been very effective for us. It's cut down on fuel cost. It's cut down on vehicle maintenance. It's actually saved us a pretty significant amount of money. We've implemented the chaplain program like I was talking about. We have implemented an advanced neighborhood watch system to include an online system where we can interact online using the technology of today. It helps us do lots of things that we weren't able to do before. There's just all kinds of things that we have done, and we continue to try to implement new ideas and seek input from the citizens to implement things that will benefit the citizens of the county as well as the sheriff's office. So what I would like to say is, if anybody has any questions or concerns or anything that they think would benefit the citizens and the sheriff's office, feel free to call us. We will sit down with you and we will talk about it. If we can make it happen, we will make it happen. But that is the big thing that we're working towards. We want to have a relationship with the citizens of the county, and we need your input. I need your vote August 2nd. Come out and vote. It's very important that you vote. There's a lot of candidates for different offices. This is an important time in our country, and you need to get out and vote and have everybody else get out and vote. And don't you blow that horn. Thank you very much.